Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first in a series of quickfire industry interviews brought to you by the SA Proptech Association. I'm Sean Godoy, and I am the co-founder of SA Proptech and the managing advisor as well. So in case you don't know us, we are an NGO, not-for-profit organization that aims to connect the Proptech community in South Africa, raise awareness with the greater property industry and with other relevant stakeholders, and basically to grow and promote the industry as much as we can. So it's very good to have you with us today. With that, I'll introduce you to our speakers for today. So we will be discussing the Ricochet data-driven performance coaching for brick and mortar retail, which is an incubator program. So I'll let the two gentlemen introduce themselves shortly, but we have Tohir Jardine and Richard Scott Martin, who are co-founders of the Ricochet Retail Incubator, and they come from a variety of sort of different skills and backgrounds, and they've been involved in a few interesting things that have actually brought them to this point. So I think to start, I'm going to hand over perhaps Tohir, if you'd like to go first, maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and what brought you to this point.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah, the name is Tahir. I am CEO of a company called Mark One. We've actually been building retail technology for the last 3 to 4 years, some award-winning retail technology. Myself, I'm a management consultant, you could say. I actually studied mechanical engineering and then spent most of my career in corporate South Africa. So working for big corporates within, fast-moving consumer goods, investments, a number of different industries. I then sort of started working with a few ex-management consulting friends of mine to focus on the retail industry in particular and building digital tools for the retail space. So yeah, for the last couple of years, we've been doing that. And I actually met Rich through one of the programs we've been working on. There was definitely sort of a like-mindedness in the way we tackle problems and how we figure out solutions. And that's how we came out with Ricochet.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Yeah. An interesting journey. And then if I could hand over to you, Richard.
Awesome. Yeah. So a bit of polar opposite. I had no corporate experience, kind of was schooled and kind of trained, you could say, in sort of marketing and advertising. And I'm the CEO of a business called Sleuth. I'd say anti-advertising, but I mean, at a young age, I saw there was a big discrepancy and just a massive rift between, creativity and the promise of value that it held and, the application of creativity to commerce. So I just saw so much at the time. There was a big gap between what was on the label, what was promised, social media campaigns, websites, whatever it is, and what actually, drove business results. I didn't like that and founded Sleuth in an attempt and been on a journey for the last 4 years to develop a predictable and reliable approach to generating business results by applying creativity to commerce. So Tia and I got together and he was struggling to sell what is a complex product, point of sale system in Mark One, and we started tackling the problem of how do we go to market, how do we achieve a product market fit. So Ricochet is I call it a business baby, a brand baby of ours that we've conceived and formed by taking some of the capabilities within Mark One as well as within their parent organizations in Sleuth as a coaching and marketing or sales and marketing based business capabilities, and then A2D from a custom software development and data science capability.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah, thanks very much. It seems like you're quite a good team. It's good to have different skills and backgrounds. I think when you're starting something, and also 2 or more co-founders can be a good strategy, I think, in a startup or a tech business. So thanks very much. Yeah, it's great to have you guys here, and thanks for those introductions. So I've got a few questions we're going to run through, and yeah, we're going to try to keep this short and concise to just keep the pace sort of upbeat, and obviously give you a chance to tell us about what you're doing and put a spotlight on that. So to start off, just very quickly, I know you mentioned Mark 1, but I was going to ask you. So obviously, one of you or both of you can take the question, but could you tell us a bit about this retail tech product that you offer, which I believe is mostly around Mark 1 that's obviously taken you to this point?
Yes, so I think, we have actually packaged some of the capabilities specifically into Ricochet, as a sort of go-to-market product itself. Now, what is Ricochet? It's effectively a data-driven performance coach for brick and mortar retailers. So using the latest digital tools, we capture real-time insights and customer behavior in physical spaces. So you can almost think of it as a fitness tracker, for retail stores. Now, how do we kind of do that? I think it's all about, precision. We want to turn people from passerbys, to lifelong customers. And to get this precision, we have 3 dimensions. It's measurement, it's engagement, and promotion. So if you look at precision measurement, we actually track smartphone users in and around the store. This allows us to map dwell time, loyalty, and engagement, of customer profiles without any human input or involvement, and without actually requiring any input from the customer themselves. So we can capture things like how many people walk past the store, how many people walk into the store, when they came into the store, how long did they stay, and how often do they come back. From there, we move to precise engagement. So we have active portals where we're capturing customer information. We get their opt-in, and now we link their personal details to this customer behavior. So now it's not all anonymized, but it's actually people that want to be part of your retailing community. Once we've moved past engagement, we then move to promotion. So now that we know who it is, what their behavior is like, we can actually offer them, specialized and personalized campaigns, that automatically trigger based on their location, based upon a time, or based on a particular opportunity that has been designed for them. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's Ricochet's retail technology capability.
Excellent, thank you. So yeah, just to clarify, obviously for myself and I guess the audience, so Ricochet is your actual product, and then you've got linked to that. You're starting this retail incubator. That's correct? Huh?
I think just to add some clarity there, I think
Sure.
Where we are as a startup is we've got a pretty mature, call it technology capabilities, but we would like to be able to co-create and collaborate with innovative retailer brands to refine the product further. And that's all sorts of things, because we can obviously do a lot of custom software dev. There's a lot that we can still do to the product. So you could call, we're looking for partners to be able to help us mold the product. I'd say it's pretty malleable. I mean, the core capabilities are very well refined in terms of what the technology can do, but how the technology ends up working, for our clients, and how they make the product work towards their circumstance, we've got a lot of flexibility, and we've got the capabilities to be able to adapt it. So I think that's the point of the accelerator program, is it's not just, to take our product to market, but it's to create a community of like-minded, sort of innovative retailers who are looking to, create and mold, the best of breed sort of next generation retail technology capabilities. And we know a lot of it has to do actually with problems around they have in terms of bricks and mortar retailers is measurement. You can install a cookie on a website, but to have that level of accuracy and granularity in tracking customer behavior in a physical space, really difficult to do. So websites have a huge amount of data that they can leverage to make various decisions around marketing, around product development, around promotion. But bricks and mortar retailers, they don't have that same level of, call it, data. So they've got transactional historical data that they can look in the past, but that's not too helpful when you're wanting to make decisions about where you're going in the future. So we just want to provide a different dimension, to the data that bricks and mortar retailers have, and do that at a price point that is accessible, affordable. We want to be able to take what is typically in the hands of, a consulting elite in sort of big corporate businesses and bring those capabilities to, your sort of everyday entrepreneur. So the whole point of Ricochet is really about democratizing that data analytics capability that is, you could say, out of reach, out of grasp for a number of different reasons, and put that in the hands of the everyday entrepreneur in a way that is practical, and in a way that they can, leverage to create value for their customers and create a more enhanced customer experience. And most of that is actually just trying to get the right message to the right person at the right time. And that's pretty much what we offer.
Excellent. Thanks very much. So that obviously takes us full circle, I think, from what the product, obviously the retail tech product Ricochet does, which is very interesting because there's not in South Africa. I know there's some sort of measurements around the use of space, perhaps the movement of people, which is customers, etc. In some countries that I've heard of, there's things that obviously that track people in office environments, etc. to increase efficiency and all that type of thing. But it sounds like obviously what you're applying to retail is fairly obviously pioneering in the South African context, I'd say, especially in the approach you take, which I quite like, which is, like you said, you're democratizing that access to sophisticated analysis, which maybe only the big retailers have access to. But even them, your product sounds like it's obviously doing things in a different way that will have appeal across the market. But a big thing is giving access to those retail entrepreneurs, the small retailers up and coming, which is so crucial because across South Africa's economy, SMEs are so crucial for job creation and economic growth, and also addressing inequality and various so what's the word, sustainability development goals. So I think it's an important place to play in anything related to entrepreneurship, etc. And the collaborative approach you're taking is another thing that I really like, and is probably a key point to take out here. And the decision you've taken to do an incubator is really exciting because, like you said, to use your words, it's not purely to take the product to market. It allows you to sort of engineer and finesse that product, and at the same time, the retailers who come in will benefit from the actual value of your product in their business and get sort of insights that they probably weren't able to get before. So they can obviously improve their business model and hopefully, I guess, leave the incubator with more insights and a better chance of success, if that's right. So that sounds very exciting, I think.
Sorry to leapfrog some of your questions
no,
there.
Sure.
But, yeah,
no, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just a very interesting, space because I think Tia and I have seen quite a bit on both sides of the coin. So from a startup perspective, and then also from a corporate, elite. And I think that's a large part of, I think, our motivations and realizations to say, we want to make this as easy to use as possible, as friendly as, the user experience that you have on a fitness tracker, but, with the sophistication and complexity that goes with advanced analytics that you would get from a management consultant. So it was kind of a bridge between that, and I think there's something unique there.
Yeah, just to add on that as well, we realize it's a lot of technology that's out there, and the entrepreneur doesn't know what's the next wave, that it's going to be. And a lot of these technologies have been built, and they have to engage with them almost as vendors, So how can we move past being a vendor and actually be a partner in co-creating solutions that work for them? So this program, we're actually going to be working hand in hand, and we're going to be designing and building out, and identifying opportunities to act on, and once we act on those opportunities, what was the upside? How did we actually deliver that? So again, it's not about the technology itself, it's about the process we want to undertake that really delivers value, to these entrepreneurs.
I think
excellent. Thank you.
It connects action to consequence. So a lot of the time, a retailer, will hypothesize that if I run this promotion or this messaging, then I will, increase revenue. But they don't actually have, call it the measurement instrument in place to be able to actually accurately track and monitor and measure, the actual impact of, any change in strategy and product formulation, pricing, promotion, messaging, whatever it is. So, the data that they use in that decision-making process is maybe quite intuitive, it's more gut, more, and it's probably most of the time is quite accurate. But I think if there's anything we've learned, there's often little pockets of opportunity, that exist in unexpected areas. And I think our goal is really to make visible what is invisible at the moment. It's those pockets of unexpected opportunity that can lead to retailer growth. And I think they need it more so than ever before. I think bricks and mortar don't, have the opportunity to be able to be as, there's just the margins aren't there anymore. They need everything they can get.
Excellent, thank you. That's a very good point. Actually, it's obviously been a tough economic environment for a while, and obviously with the 2020 out the way, we're still dealing with a lot of obviously issues and challenges and a lot of uncertainty around our physical spaces and obviously the economic impact. So anything that can help, obviously, and is accessible, I think which your product is the thing that you're highlighting is really crucial. And also it's a way of doing things differently. So retail is maybe, certain sectors are a bit slower to adopt new technology, or maybe they don't need to, but it's probably a good time just to start investigating at the very least, because there is some interesting tech out there and innovative ways to do things. So yes, thanks for that. It's really good to learn about your product. Just to end off, we're gonna just have a few minutes left, but I just have two questions just to get your insights, I think more general insights into the industry. So you can each, maybe I'll start, Tahir, I'll start with you if that's okay, and just keep it quite brief if possible. So the first question, and you have touched on this in a few ways, but perhaps you can give 2 or 3 key points that you feel are quite important. But just like to ask, what are the key ways that you feel retail tech in general can assist retailers and also landlords?
Yes, I think that there's 3 big dimensions here. So number 1 is speed to action. So in the physical space, just going from paper charts to like a digital signage board, that's a cut of 3 months. So speed to action is where digital tools can really help physical retailers. Number 2 is sort of insights beyond what the eye can see. So moving away from your gut feeling and experience and move towards more data-driven decision making and actually analyzing a larger array of data points. And then number 3 is actually moving to where the customer is. So now the customer is in your physical space. How do you go to them when they are not by you? So what they're carrying around with them all the time is their smartphone. This technology is continuously evolving. So how do you use retail tech to actually then go to your customer and build these energized communities when they're not in your physical space?
Excellent. Yeah, thank you very much. Lots to think about then. It makes a lot of sense actually. And if you can achieve those kind of goals or solve those challenges, obviously the potential is quite exciting. Richard, would you like to add to that, or?
I think yes, summarized that very nicely. But I think just the only layer I could potentially add to that is it's like closing the feedback loop. I think there are a lot of loose ends, you could say, in physical retail, and I think what digital can do is can offer you sort of a connected system, so you can start seeing and visualizing trends and patterns, which also can help inform your decision making. So I think that all connects the speed to market, seeing what the opportunities that beyond what the eyes can see. And I think it is necessary because that's what digital has over physical, is it is all connected. And I think a lot of digital products really do benefit from the fact that they can actually tie behaviors to outcomes. And when you can see those connections, you can make more informed decisions and actually run experiments. And I think experimentation is the key to innovation. So if physical retailers can have the framework and the instruments in place to run better experiments, I think they'll be able to innovate faster.
Excellent, thank you. Some really interesting points to think about there, and obviously that it's all about the digital and the physical coming together, and it's a really exciting thing. Obviously, with what you guys are doing, is bringing that sort of digital element to obviously bricks and mortar retail. That seems like obviously a big theme, and it's something obviously with the rise of e-commerce, etc. Perhaps innovation in physical stores is, as you know, a bit has been left behind a bit. And just on the property side, retail property is really important in the South African economy and to the property industry. So obviously, if retailers benefit, landlords can, and if a few of their tenants are using this technology, it also offers landlords on the asset management level, new insights, etc. So I think the ecosystem stands to benefit, which is really exciting. But yeah, awesome, guys. Thanks for that. Last question, just very concisely. So this is, I guess, about your skills of prediction, and obviously, I guess your ambitions for Ricochet. So I wanted to ask you both, where do you see Ricochet in 10 years? And in 10 years' time, are there any key sort of innovations or tech within retail that you think would have taken hold within the retail space?
Do you want me to go? Cool.
I need the time.
So yeah, in terms of where do I see Ricochet in 10 years? It's like the Google Analytics of physical spaces. If you look maybe 10, 15 years ago, the amount of people that were doing Facebook and Google ads, there was very little, right? And it became a norm now. It's like part of what you do. Now we've kind of forgotten about the physical space, and we want to go back there. We want to say, okay, there's value in the physical space, and we want to bring you the Google Analytics type of insights and actions to those physical spaces. I think also, where I see ourselves in kind of 10 years, we don't just want to be about dashboards and tables. It's about people that care about those physical spaces and getting to the essence of what makes them valuable. So as they've been challenged by the emergence of e-commerce, why does a physical space exist? And we found that the retailers that really understand that essence, if it's either about creating experiential dimensions when you're in store, or tactile feeling of textures, or convenience, all of these things goes down to what the essence of physical space is about. And we almost see, our capabilities, again, as something that amplifies that. So yeah, it's 10 years time, think of us as the Google for physical spaces.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good. Good to be ambitious. So maybe Africa's first unicorn, or because we're in South Africa, maybe zebra or giraffe is more fitting, depending on if you want to be slim and stealthy, or maybe a wildebeest if you want to be chunky and robust. But yeah, that's really exciting to hear. Richard, if you got a few points to add?
Yeah, I've heard the analogy that Africa or developing world is more of a camel because they need to go long times without any water. So, look, I think Tia summarized that perfectly there. I mean, I would say as a high level goal, it's to kind of render human experience as data, and to be able to provide insights to say purpose-driven, physical spaces. I think that's probably sum up how I do it. I think that as Tia said, experience is everything, is a richness. I mean, it's a huge amount of information that just doesn't come out of a screen. And I really enjoy this kind of renaissance that's happening at the moment for physical space, for human connection, for being. So I think, with everything in the context of COVID, e-commerce, I think we have a greater appreciation for what other humans are for and for spaces as well. So I'm really looking forward to that journey, over the next couple of years. And I think it's, going to swing the other way. I think that's the way it works. So, we want to be a part of that, and we want to be helping enable, the most purpose-driven retail businesses reinvent what retail is for. And yeah, that's I suppose the more higher level sort of how do I say it, fluff, marketing fluff. But yeah, that's I suppose some of the things that get us up in the morning and make us excited.
Awesome. No, it really is it's a really exciting, I think, endeavor, and the potential is quite significant. And you've obviously already achieved success in the product that you've developed. So no, that's really exciting. And I must say, the landlords and the developers in our audience will be very happy to hear that physical space is definitely going to be around for some time to come, which I'm also a firm believer in. If anything, I think the pandemic and related lockdowns reminded people how much they like to be out and about. You don't want to do your life fully digitally, I think. Not in every way. So excellent. Yeah, with that, we're gonna round up. So thank you very much, Tahir and Richard, for joining us. It's been really interesting to learn about what you guys are up to. So thanks for taking the time. And just to round up, I know your website is ricochet.africa, but if people want to get hold of you, is it social media based or LinkedIn?
So I think either LinkedIn or just through the website, there's just an application form there. Even if you don't want to apply, you just want to say hello, that's also too. I think there's sleuth.africa as well, and then there's a2d24.co.za. Is that correct? Yeah.
.com.
.com. Sorry, there we go.
And mark1.io.
Yeah.
So those are all the spaces.
Yeah, we're encouraging channel switching, so that's not a good thing. But the easiest thing is Ricochet.Africa. You'll get through to both myself and to here there.
Excellent. Yeah, you're quite creative with your domain names. That's quite cool. Yeah, excellent, guys. So like I said, yeah, that brings us to the end of it. So thank you so much. Yeah, take care. And yeah, to our audience, thank you for watching. And yeah, reach out to SA Proptech if you have any queries on our side. And this is great. And I look forward to the next installments of our quickfire interview series. So thanks again and take care. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.